Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sports Daily. Ronnie alongside Tommy Price. Joining us today over at Course Cafe down in Fort Allen. And I'm at another closed location by Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. And of course, we're by La Bears Casino. So was the host site of the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame pairings party at Sportsbook. Today on Sports Shorts, we'll talk about, of course, LSU Tigers.
Ronnie, your audio is going out a lot.
All right.
Jump.
I'm going to jump off and jump back on real quick.
Okay. Yeah, we got a little Tuesday morning edition of Sports Shorts Daily here due to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame golf tournament yesterday out at the U Club. So Ronnie will jump back on in just a minute. And they were able to get the tournament in yesterday, so that all worked out fine. And Ronnie has jumped back in.
Are we a little bit better right now?
Much better right there, sir. Thank you.
A couple of things about that Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame celebrity golf tournament presented by Relief Windows and La Bears Casino. Really appreciate them. We had about 90% of the tournament in, and then the rain came at the end, made the cleanup a mess. But it was a great time over at University Club Golf Course. Course is in fantastic shape. We teed off at 10 a.m. Had the likes of we had 3 of the 2025 Hall of Famers were there. And then a bunch of other celebs and past.
Not hearing you, Ronnie. Your audio is not working.
Is this any better like this?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay, so maybe where I had my phone placed.
Yeah, you had 3 Hall of Famers you had started this at.
So we had Joe Sherman, Delgado coach. We had Danny Broussard, who the head coach at St. Thomas More High School in basketball, who's 6th all time in the United States of America in high school basketball wins. Joe Sherman, one of only 4 or 5, I think it might be 4 or 5 father-son combinations going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame this coming year. His dad Rags went in back in 1990. His dad Rags went in the same year that Kim Mulkey went in, which Kim Mulkey was the youngest ever Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame inductee at 29 years old of age. That was 1990, I believe. And then also we had April Burkholder. April Burkholder, if you remember LSU gymnastics, Dee Bro always says of April Burkholder that she was the Simone Augustus of LSU gymnastics, that there was kind of like before and after April Burkholder. And, it wasn't that big of crowds, wasn't that many people came. She brought the entertainment. She was the sizzle. She was really too good to go to LSU at the time. She should have been at the University of Georgia or UCLA, which were the powerhouses at back then, 2002 when she came. And she's the one that brought hip-hop to the floor exercises. Now everybody does it. Everybody's got a, kind of a hip hop style floor routine for the most part. She's the one who was the inventor of that. LSU kind of became the hip hop floor routine capital of the world for a while in women's gymnastics. And April Burkholder started that. And so she's going into the Hall of Fame this year. And we had a lot of other greats that joined us as well. So we appreciate everyone for taking their time and raising money for the Hall of Fame. By the way, the induction will be the last week of June. So go to lasportshall.com. You can learn all about the class, which is fantastic, with Andrew Whitworth and many others. But TK, I saw, and I remember when LSU played Vanderbilt in the 90s under Jerry DiNardo was when they broke out the gold jersey at a home game. And I thought it was atrocious. The gold jersey I thought was awful. Back then it was sort of an old gold, kind of that old war school color. It wasn't very yellow. It was more gold. This time around, the 2024 version of LSU's gold jersey night against the Vanderbilt Commodores is the bright yellow gold with purple and white stripes on the shoulders. I think I'd probably like it a little bit better than the original in the 90s, but not much. I hope the players are loving it and they're super excited, and that's why they're doing it, because I think they look atrocious, and I think the Tigers, if anything, if they need to go back to the OG uniforms, it'd be right now after losing 3 straight.
I would agree with you. Now, I saw Lane Kiffin on the Dan Patrick show last week, and Dan asked him, who comes up with the uniform schemes that y'all wear at Ole Miss? Because they bounced around the map a little bit. And he said, we pretty much let the players decide. He said, and then maybe I'll have a little influence some days. Now, to LSU's gold, it's kind of the gold like the helmet or the gold like the pants. It's not, they wore them in the Independence Bowl that one year, and it was a different shade. But I don't know if I like it. I want to see what it looks like when they run out and when they're playing the game. And they haven't announced yet what color helmets and pants they're wearing.
Right.
No doubt. Let's hope it's not gold helmet, gold pants. They'll look like the Savannah Bananas out there. Okay. Let's hope that's not the case. But again, these kids now, NIL portal, you kind of gotta, get a feel for what the kids want to do. And if the players want to wear this, so be it. And then of course, the merchandise shop's going to have gold jerseys. We're going to have several racks of those in there because they're trying to make money to pay the NIL deals. So I kind of get it. And it, like we said when Donardo brought back the white jerseys years ago, it's not the jersey, it's who's wearing it. And right now, OSU doesn't have a lot of great ones wearing it.
Well, who would have ever thunk it that Vanderbilt and LSU would have the same record when they played each other this week? But that's exactly what the case is. 6-4 of both teams. Now the Tigers find themselves. What's the latest on the line, Tommy?
8 points is what I saw this morning. It opened at 9. I saw 7.5. It's been bouncing around depending on where you shop. Go to the ESPN Bet Sportsbook out of LeBare's or the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app. It's moving around a little bit. That's for you to decide. But sitting at 8 points, which some people think's a little bit high. Again, both teams 6-4. I wish you could have bet. I would have bet that in August that both teams would be 6-4 this Saturday. But that's just fun talk. But I just don't know. I mean, Brian Kelly's press conference yesterday was kind of, he didn't say a whole lot, which is typical. But I mean, this is a football team that's got to make a statement on Saturday night. But I don't know if they can because Vanderbilt, let's put yourself in Vanderbilt's position. They're saying, hey, nobody thought we'd be 6-4. We got a chance to go into Baton Rouge, win a conference game on the road. We got a quarterback that can run. That's probably the first thing they talked about. And they've seen what running quarterbacks have done to LSU the last 6 quarters. So if you're Vanderbilt, you got to be amped up a little bit. And then if I'm the Vanderbilt team saying, hey, they got us an 8 or a 9-point dog, I think we're better than this. So, Vanderbilt's going to come in here swinging punches, I can tell you.
All right. Tomorrow, I want to get into, when we're back on Sports Church, I want to get back into Brian Kelly and the whole yelling at players thing, which is sort of blown the last 48 hours. A lot of people on social media posting videos and pictures and have strong comments and all that.
Well, Ronnie, you know that Sports Church Radio's Hunter McCann had a quote that he tweeted about, I'm not a lip reader, but this is what looks like what he said, and Hunter was correct. That thing was in 20 different national articles, I said. They clipped Hunter into their articles, and of course the local articles, and I talked to Hunter about it yesterday, but it went viral because he just pointed out what he thought was said. He didn't state an opinion. He just, put it out there. And then Kelly had to talk about it yesterday. And of course, he flipped it the other way. And I mean, I don't know. He did this at Cincinnati. He did this at Notre Dame. It's not the first time at LSU he's done it. It's part of his coaching world, I guess. I don't know. But a lot of people are uncomfortable with it.
Well, what's so funny about 2024 is that now people are on the players' side more than they used to always be. You were on the coach side, but now as the transfer of power goes away from the coach and the program to the players, because they now make money, they now have the ability to transfer and go someplace else. There's this support or sympathy for the players that's really unprecedented. It used to be, no, you're a college kid, you get a free education, just shut up and do what the coach says and don't talk back and don't have an opinion and don't da. And now it's like, hey, don't yell at him too much. Don't get on him. Don't embarrass him because then he's going to leave or he's not going to want to play for us. It's really an unbelievable dynamic and shift. Where it lands, who knows? But we'll get into all that a little bit more tomorrow. I want to be on the Positive Tuesday. We're calling this Positive Tuesday. Paul Skeens wins the NL Rookie of the Year, and the Saints win 2 in a row. Rizzy is the man. Let's start with Paul Skeens, Tommy. There was a point in time where, there was some conversation, maybe a month or so before the end of the season. Would Paul Skeens, in fact, win the Rookie of the Year? Should it be given to a pitcher? Should it be given to a position player? But at the end of the season, when you look back on the totality of what Paul Skeens did, it is arguably, top three greatest NL Rookie of the Year seasons ever.
Well, and he got 23 of 30 of the first place votes, okay? And so it's a dominant win. And they also pointed out how many times he went into that seventh or eighth inning when nowadays Major League pitchers, it's a 5, 6 inning thing if you're a starter, and then you turn it over to the crew in the bullpen. But Skeens was dominant. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, and and I mean what he accomplished on no, there was several games when he lost 2-1, or he left the game when it was 2-2 when he had a great outing, but then the Pirates weren't that great of a team as we know. So no, I think he deserves the award, and it just helps him for down the road next time that contract comes up. But I think he deserved the award, and I'm not saying that just because he went to LSU and this, that, and the other. I'm saying it because his numbers and his impact on the NL season were significant.
The to finish with an earned run average under 2, and to have the amount of starts he had, and his command in the big leagues was just like his command at LSU, relative to throwing strikes. Um, Incredible. Last night he watched the awards show and the announcement from the Colonel Club, the new restaurant in Baton Rouge. He was there with some teammates. Jay Johnson was there as well. Obviously, he was there with his girlfriend Olivia Dunn, and that's where they took in the announcements. That he was going to be the NL Rookie of the Year. So congratulations to him. Just a tremendous accomplishment. By the way, Dylan Cruz was there, and I think he would qualify next year in the American League because he didn't get called up enough.
Well,
Early, did he? I don't think he did.
no, Lucas Gill, who won the American League Rookie of the Year. This is his third year in the bigs. Pitcher
Right.
for the Yankees, right-handed. But he just hasn't had. There's some rule about number of games played, starts, at bats, innings pitched, whatever. Lucas Gill actually, So yes, I think Dylan Cruz could clearly, get in that conversation if he's having a great year next season.
Yeah. The LSU brand, baby, in baseball. Everybody asking, what do you think about the Tigers? What do you think about the Tigers? This is their final weekend. No, this weekend and next. This weekend they're scrimmaging. I'm sorry, no, this is the last weekend. Yeah,
I think they're done. I think they're.
they didn't have their purple and gold. Was that
Yeah,
yesterday?
they did. That was the Chief Wanaka versus Tutco
Oh,
thing. I think that was last weekend. I'd have to double check. And I did look at their schedule today, and there's no more games against other teams. And there was a bunch of them at the Colonel's Club last night, and I think they're done, but I'm not certain.
I'll let you know tomorrow, Tommy. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Because again, this is a Tuesday Sports Shorts Daily. We'll be Wednesday and Friday over at Tremonti's in Baton Rouge.
I'm pretty sure that they are scrimmaging Friday, and the reason for
Okay.
it is because the LSU baseball alumni are having an event Friday at the
Okay.
for former players at the championship line inside Tiger Stadium, inside Alex Box Stadium. And I thought on our announcement that they were still this Friday or Saturday, but I'll look at it again and we'll let you know tomorrow. But so you might have a chance to see a little bit of baseball if you want before they're done, and they have their exit meetings and all that kind of stuff. But it was a very good fall. I'll tell you, from 3 or 4 times that I saw LSU baseball play this spring, um, the arms are just, they have so many good arms, and obviously you got to stay healthy. Only one at a time can pitch, meaning you might have great arms. One guy goes out there, or 2 guys go out there and with uber healthy on good time going into the holiday before they rejoin. And The other good.
Move your phone again.
How are we right here? Is this any better?
That's right. Right there's good. Yeah, we're having couple of
So,
little.
what about the New Orleans Saints, Tommy? Are you buying Rizzy yet?
Well, the scary thing is Gail Benson might be. It would be like her to make him that permanent coach, okay? From within, somebody's been in the organization for many years. Obviously, he's well liked by the players, and obviously, there's been a response to him through 2 weeks. Open date this week. Saints do not play. They'll host the Rams the Sunday after Thanksgiving, which that's December 1st, by the way. Time flies, but so I don't know. I'm thinking that the Saints, they're messing up that draft choice that Joel Davis was hoping they could pick first or second. That's moving because I don't think they have the quarterback of the future on the roster at all at this point, based on what we know. So I don't know. A couple of guys in New Orleans who I'm friends with in the media, they all seem to. I floated it out there that Gail Benson may just make him the permanent coach, and they all said I could be right, and they follow it a little more than you and I do on a daily basis, but. We'll see. That's not gonna be announced. Well, I say it's not gonna be announced. I don't think that's anytime soon because there's gonna be the coaching carousel is gonna spin as much as it ever has throughout the NFL, especially after last night's game. Cowboys basically eliminated from the playoffs with no hope there. Doug Peterson, Louisiana guy, his future in Jacksonville is shaky. So I don't know what's up with the Saints. We'll have to see. Off week. So there won't be a lot of Saints conversation going on. Then it'll ramp up back up next week.
Well, Rizzy will have had 8 games under his belt. When he took over, the Saints were 2-7 with 8 games remaining. If somehow he has one of these miracle runs and they go 6-2 or 7-1 or something like that, the remaining 8 games, I don't know how you don't make him, the head coach permanently moving forward. But I will say, this was the easiest part of the schedule. The Falcons obviously are in a major struggle. Look how bad they looked this past week against the Broncos. You get that juice anytime you make a change of a head coach. You got a couple players back healthy. So let's see. But I mean, look, if they go 6-2, 7-1, I'm going to be screaming for Rizzy to keep the job. Because you can't overlook that. I mean, this roster is awful. This team going into the season was awful. Remember, we 7.5 over under total wins and losses in Vegas. That's the line, and we all thought, oh, take the under. This team's terrible. Well, here they go. They're 4-7, and it's going to be a sweat for the remaining 6 games to see if they can win 4 of them. But the Gail Benson's not going to want to fire people's families and wives and kids and uproot their lives and blow up the organization under her watch unless she has to or is forced to or whatever. And this would give her an out if he can be good enough down the stretch.
Well, and I did read where, when Sean Payton left, Rizzy was interviewed for the head coach position, and obviously so was Dennis Allen, and Dennis Allen was selected. I can't say I knew that back then, or I might not even knew who Rizzy was, but I did read it, like yesterday or Sunday evening, that he was interviewed for the head coaching job. At that point, I guess by Mickey Loomis, Gail Benson, Dennis Lauschka, whoever. So we'll see. It'll be interesting how that plays out. But you're right. If he wins 5 of these 8 or 6 of these 8, it'll be a decision that has to be made.
I think if he goes 6-2 or 7-1, I don't think there's a decision.
Well, good point.
I think less than that, you got to obviously think about it. But and then also you got to, you're trying to see who's all available and whatnot. And then also, you're not out of the woods from a standpoint of the next year. You're in trouble with the salary cap. I know the Saints have done a great job of kicking the can down the road for all these years. It's finally time to pay the piper, and you gotta have a coach that's on board and understands. And obviously, if Rizzy can keep winning and becomes that guy, you got a guy that has been around who knows what's going on and knows why things happen and would be a lot more probably amenable and understanding to what his future for the next year or two is going to look like.
Well, and another thing he knows that I think is important, he knows the NFC South. Okay, he's prepared to play NFC South teams for many, many years. So I think that's a factor as well. He kind of knows that. The NFC South, I looked this up this morning. It's the second worst division in football. If you look at total wins by the teams in the division, the AFC West has got less wins than the NFC South. Add all four teams up, so it's kind of went back to what it was a couple of years ago, one of the weakest divisions in the league. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
What time is the LSU Vanderbilt game this weekend?
6:45 p.m. at SEC Network.
Okay, so we need to change the graphic on the screen there. Sports Church Radio. So this Saturday we'll be back on to our normal time, 10 to noon, 10 to noon. This week we did 12:30 to 2:30 last Saturday over at Walk-Ons. Took you right up to kickoff, which is always good. The restaurants buzzing and all that at lunchtime and everything with all the people there getting ready to watch the game or running errands, whatever they're doing. We'll be back on our 10 to noon time this week, and we'll be over at the LeBear's Casino at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. So come check us out. And if you can't make it, you can listen to us Lake Charles, Lafayette, Baton Rouge on ESPN Radio in those towns. All right, TK, we'll be back tomorrow morning for more Sports Church Radio. We're getting into talking about Brian Kelly and some of the heat he's getting, not just because of wins and losses, but maybe some of his coaching style is, of course, now coming under question because he's losing. Nobody said anything when winning, but now you lose a few games, you yell too much. So we'll talk about that. And I got a couple of stories golf tournament talking with Billy Joe Tolliver about Mike Ditka, talking about the sideline.
Okay.
But tell us about what's going on over at Court Street Cafe.
All right, Court Street Cafe. You got breakfast, lunch, dinner, and not this Saturday, but Saturday, November 30th, in West Baton Rouge. They're going to participate in Small Business Saturday. Them and many of the small businesses here in West Baton Rouge. Court Street Cafe is one of the key players in that. That's next Saturday. We'll remind you about it next week. But come get breakfast, lunch, dinner, steak night on Saturday night, the famous brunch on Sundays, full service bar. Jason and the staff do a super job. Court Street Cafe, great way to keep up with all the specials, lunch, dinner, drink, small business Saturday on November 30th. Connect with them on Facebook and Instagram. Court Street Cafe, Port Allen, just a couple of minutes over the Mississippi River Bridge. Hopefully you'll do that real soon. Don't forget to like and share this show, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or X. We appreciate it. Like and share this show. We're back again tomorrow, Wednesday edition of Sports Shorts Daily from Tremonti's Meat and Seafood in Baton Rouge. And don't forget at Tremonti's, you can order those turkeys now, okay? Fried, rotisserie, smoked. Get your turkey orders in now, and we'll be back over at Tremonti's tomorrow. On behalf of Jason and everybody here at Court Street Cafe, like and share this show. I'm Tommy Christ, Sam. Have a great day, everyone.